all families experience some level of dysfunction. That is not meant to be a judgment on anyone. It's just the way we are. We are not creatures of perfection, and we all do the best that we can. And if you remember from a previous session, John Bradshaw, who was a pastor in the 80s and did a lot of work on addiction, stated that 98% of people, 98% of families are dysfunctional. And that just means that they're not, if you remember correctly, the definition for functional is when everything's working together under the direction of a specialist, and when there are no rule books for being a parent. We do the best that we can. So there might be different levels. Some families may have it more severe than others, but you can recognize a little bit of this in all families. And because families may have these different levels, we have to learn to detach. We have to learn that not to suffer, not to, we need to change our reaction to how other people are behaving. We are only responsible for ourselves. It sounds really mean. It doesn't sound like it's loving. But in the long run, it is loving. So if I allow you to be you and me to be me, and I can be there for you when you're making good choices or if you need assistance, but I'm not going to do it for you. And that's what all this is about, is to educate you on what you can do and what not. So what are the solutions? We've talked a lot about the problem. And the solution is you need to get a safe place for you. You need to discover what works for you to find freedom in order for you to help others as well. So imagine being on the airplane and the stewardess says, put the air on you first. You can't help anybody else if you can't breathe. So the mask's dropping, get the air on you, and then you can help other people. That's what we're trying to teach you in this session and all of these sessions. We don't want you to be burdened by unexpressed grief and suffering, which people see what you have and they're going to want what you have. I assure you, things start getting better. It's like a trickle-down theory. When you get better, other people are going to want what you have in your family as well. And then we can start seeing that our biological parents were the instruments to get us to where we are. And they're not perfect, and they did the best they can, and we can love them for who they are and accept them for who they are and deal with bitterness and resentment. So what do we have to do in order to make this happen? Usually there's some power greater than us. We are spiritual people, and that's defined differently for everyone. I'm not going to tell you to do it the way I want to do it. I have my way of getting my spiritual strength. You may have your others. I would like you to do it my way, but you don't have to. You got to do it the way you want. And you do that by getting clarity and honesty from going to counseling, from going to get support groups, from information and education on what we're teaching you here. And in order to do that, you have to be intentional and you have to stay connected, because most people withdraw, nobody understands, so you've got to stay involved. And know that there are no mistakes, that everything that happens in our life are just lessons, and we do learn from making mistakes. It's okay if you get lost. It's okay if you don't do it perfectly the first time. We know next time we'll do it a little different. And we all desire harmony. None of us like anxiety. None of us like conflict. And you cannot do this alone. You've got to engage the help of other people. So we're going to talk a little bit about the 3 C's. We've talked about them a little bit in the past, but you can't control another person. You can't cure them, and you certainly can't. You didn't cause any of this. So in this process of learning, hopefully you will get that relief too, and know that if you get better, they're of course going to want what you have as well. And maybe they'll start asking you, well, how did you do this? And then you can say, by example, follow me. Come and start learning. Come and listen to these videos, go to some support groups, find a counselor. And when we do that, we can start taking better care of ourselves by communicating better, taking care of ourselves, taking care of our choices, and celebrating those wonderful things that we've learned from this. Celebrating the fact that, okay, maybe I was the lost child, but I'm a heck of a guitarist and I write really good music, or I'm a good executor. I make things happen here, or I make people laugh and bring relief to people, and maybe I'm a good counselor because I've been there and I know what you're doing. I know what you're thinking. You are not alone. None of this is your fault. And the part that this will give you is clarity, because secrets are not good. Secrets are not good. They're damaging. to know that you are important. Take care of yourself. You are important enough to do this. The courage to do this, to stay consistent with all of this and congruent. And that means being honest. That means being honest with family, being honest with yourself. And ultimately, even though family is synonymous with problems, family is still a good thing. We are relational people, and embrace the family that you have and see the good things for what they are. Take the time and do this for you. I hope this helped.